All right, everybody, welcome to yet another round of Earthbound Ancient Cave. Today we're going to have lltemple versus Neerrm. This is the first round of the quarterfinals. I have with me today the wonderful Chaz. Chaz, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Excited for a pretty interesting race, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think definitely. Neerrm has shown, at least in the past, I know he's the 7th seed coming into the bracket this year, but last year he posted some out of the blue, extremely top tier times. So I fully expect that this will be another extremely close race.
Oh yeah, for sure. And of course, Temple is one of the people who grinds more Ancient Cave seeds than pretty much anyone.
I think right now we're just waiting for Temple to ready up and we can get this race going. Let's see if I can get a hold of him again.
If you're not familiar, this is the Ancient Cave Earthbound Randomizer you can get at earthbound.app. The entire story elements of Earthbound have been ripped out, and all the rooms have been reconfigured into a 9-floor maze. Our runners just have to get through the maze and beat Gygas. It's that simple. Of course, for this race, our runners will be trying to find skips to get between the floors a little bit faster. We'll be sure to point those out as we go. But it's gonna be a fun race. Notice they looks like they went with the random vanilla for all of their characters except Neerrm is running the and Knuckles. Which, you know, I can respect. Nothing wrong with a little bit of Ant Knuckles. So as soon as our runners ready up, this race will be shortly underway, and it looks like we are off. So floor 1, as always, there's not a lot going on. There's enemies right out of the gate. Neerrm hits it. The snake, Temple had a crow spawn, so he could get by it. There's a couple items you might get. You might get an early Jeff weapon, just because of how the randomization works with working with the price of the item. Some of Jeff weapons come a little bit earlier than other people's. Or you might get really lucky and get something really random early. But for the most part, you're just looking to pick up any skip granting items that might be items that the monkeys in the monkey cave want, or looking for a skip itself, or otherwise just trying to get off this floor as fast as possible.
Chaz, I'm wondering what your opinion is on taking early fights. Oh, it looks like we already have a potential skip on the left side.
It's the wet towel and pizza. Temple doesn't have either of those. Early skips, pretty much anytime I see them, they seem to pay off. Even if it deposits you onto a late floor where you have to spend like even 10 minutes like just grinding out finding one enemy to try and, you know, squeak out a win to get some levels, it still seems to just be much faster than going through normally, even if you go through as fast as you possibly can. So it can feel brutal to take those deep skips and then get stuck grinding for minutes, but I think it does actually save time.
Looks like both the runners, Temple and Neerrm, are both taking the same path through this Starman base. Oh, it looks like Temple has opted to turn left first. Right is where Neerrm is right now, which is the mole. Although Temple has found a pizza shack or a pizza seller. You could have talked to him to possibly phone for a large pizza, which can be a valuable Gygas item a little later on. Or even to call for that pizza to get that skip that he just found.
Yep, that normal pizza skip we just looked at. We just saw in the last race, both Thomas and Ryko Rider used large pizza strats in their Gygas fights, and they both had betas that would have killed multiple members of the party in phase 1 if they didn't have a large pizza strats going on. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that strategy. It's just a really nice way to heal everyone but poo up after that first rockin'.
Oh yeah, I mean it makes a rocking beta not a big deal, really.
So both runners
what could you want?
both runners working through this large room, which has the boss of the first floor at the end.
Yep, a pretty quick floor 1, all told. We found the boss room real fast.
It looks like maybe 5 or 6 doors deep. Lots of spawns in here, so they're just slowly working through. Enemies are pretty weak right now. As soon as you gain a level or two, all the crows, the snakes, the skate punks are pretty trivial.
Right. The only thing that can be a challenge is sometimes one of these early enemies will get a ton of speed on it, and if you just auto fight, it'll just take so long. But even then, at any time, you could just fire off a freeze and be done with it.
Neerrm on the right did find a skip sandwich, so that's a potential skip item he's got for the future. And we got Frankenstein as the first boss. Should be pretty easy with freezes.
Yep, freezes will make quick work. A powerful spell, as it turns out.
Yeah, freeze will often kind of carry you through the first several encounters at the very least. Especially if you find a skip pretty early, that freeze is going to carry you and allow you to get those early levels and even make it possible to get through there.
Now there's a mole. Neerrm's not going for the mole. He could have taken on that mole. He didn't have freeze betas. Or he only had one character with freeze beta. I don't know how many psychic points he has. That mole will give some experience, and of course you could get the gift hiding behind the mole. Neerrm opted to skip it. We'll see if Temple takes on the mole when he gets there.
Yeah, I would say without freeze betas, I'd be a little hesitant to take on the mole. I guess you could just throw a big bottle rocket on it, but if that mole's got decent speed, that big bottle rocket's going to reflect back, and you're going to have a dead party member pretty early. So it's risky, but it could pay off.
Yeah, even if things go well, you know, if he claws you, someone's going to be dead. And that's you know, your best case scenario.
Neerrm just doing some shopping here in the shack, checking out the items. I don't see anything valuable that was worth really checking out. Temple on the left, you do see him making use. It's a feature that was added to this randomizer, is the ability to actually equip items from the goods menu. So for those early equips, sometimes you can get kind of confused later on in the game when not quite remembering which items are better than which items. But especially if you know that if a character doesn't have a weapon or an item in that slot, it saves a couple seconds to just equip it from the goods menu.
Yeah, if you happen to already be in the goods menu. If you're equipping multiple items, then it's going to be faster to go to the normal equip menu. So it's just situational, which one's going to be faster. But as a kid, I always got real annoyed at seeing that this is one of the items that can be equipped.
Yeah, we have our first big hub on the right on Neerrm's side, and Tucson. And I believe Tucson has about 18 doors connected to it. So we could potentially see ourselves looking at Tucson for a while as we're going in and checking each door.
Yeah, it is the biggest hub. Temple also decided to skip the mole and not pick up that item and not take on the mole. So, no difference between the two runners here. Just Neerrm a little bit ahead. Of course, how they route through Tucson could be multiple minutes worth of difference.
Yeah, and sometimes it's pretty important to remember how you route through certain areas. So, for example, my general strategy for when I enter Tucson is to kind of like scan from top to bottom. So I'll hit all the top places and then slowly work my way south through Tucson or south up. And it's important to have kind of a strategy entering those big hubs. As you find yourself going in and out of doors, you can get very confused and very quickly forget which doors you've actually visited.
Right. The reason to have a strategy isn't because one door is going to be better than the other. It's because you might forget. You know, you're human and you're processing a lot of things, and if you forget, it's going to be super costly. So anything you can do that can shortcut the amount of things that you have to remember.
Interesting that Temple decided to backtrack to the mole and go ahead and fight him, and he's taken a huge boost of experience on everybody as a result.
Yeah, they'll certainly do that.
And then Neerrm on the right just slowly
Interesting.
found a full heal in one of the top houses and is just slowly scanning his way through. And now fighting a sentry robot, another scripted fight, which will give him a similar amount of experience.
Just a ribbon in the chest, so no big deal.
Although I think if I had the choice between fighting a mole and fighting a sentry robot, I might choose the mole. Because of exactly what Neerrm is dealing with. The call for help, and if you don't have the resources to kill, or if you're feeling a little close on the resources to kill one, you call a second one, and you're going to have a hard time getting through them.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a more dangerous fight. Well, there's the first one down. And the second one. So Neerrm will get a big bundle of experience as well.
Yeah, I think it's roughly about the same that Temple got from backtracking to the mole. So Temple has opted to stay behind, get a little bit of extra experience, grind a little bit. He did have that free heal right here, or not the free, but a little in the shop. Some runners, or it's easy to forget about that little inn hiding in the back corner of that shop. But
Yeah,
Neerrm opted to push forward, and he's probably in a slightly better boat because he's progressed a little bit more and explored a little more. Sorry, I forgot to update the floors. Both runners are on floor 2. Excuse my neglect on updating that.
Of course, Temple might end up hitting that sentry robot as well. It's kind of it's one of those ones, if you move quickly with the run button patch, you can avoid it, but you can't always.
Temple did, he did not fire a big bottle rocket at the mole, so he still has that in case he runs into the sentry robot. Neerrm on the right side just found a goddess band, which is a huge defensive item for floor 2.
Yep, that's one of those things where the distribution of the presence does scale, but there's a little bit of randomness in there, so you'll occasionally get a good item earlier than you should.
And you do see the runners taking different paths. I don't think Neerrm ever saw Moonside, but Temple has taken a slightly different path and is now exploring Moonside, which Neerrm never did.
Yeah, well, in a floor that's got Tucson in it, you certainly expect. It's more likely than not you're going to end up taking a different path. So 1 in 19 chance you.
But I don't even think Temple has seen Tucson yet.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's likely that Neerrm is working his way through the correct way forward since he's found another significant hub. I'd be surprised if this hub is not the way forward since it's got 4 doors. It's probably more likely than not that it is the way forward, but you could get unlucky and explore everything and find no way forward through here.
Yep, certainly possible. Although I agree with you, the odds are in his favor here. Secret herb shop.
It's nice. I don't know if he has them. I guess he fought some sentry robots, so we can probably take out some money and buy some of those herbs if he's feeling the need.
Yeah, that's true.
Another potential skip on Temple's side. And he has the protein drink for it, so Temple has taken a skip. Oh wait, no, did Temple backtrack to floor 1 to take that skip, is what happened. Is that what happened? I'm not quite sure. And now he's running into a different skip place, so I'm not sure where he is right now.
Yeah, I don't recall which floor that protein drink skip was on. There's the King Banana skip, but no King Banana found. Well, I guess we'll find out.
So Temple is on the left. Temple just took a skip, and he's found the boss of whatever floor he's on. We don't know what floor that is. It's 5th floor. And this boss he might be able to get through with his current resources, just on the freezes and a BBR.
Or just a BBR. Easy game.
That was pretty bold. Temple taking on the boss, not knowing what floor it was, and not knowing if he had the resources for it. Because I don't even think he had found a full heal yet, so he didn't really have a way to revive anybody. Neerrm on the right dealing with another. Neerrm on the right dealing with another. I think Neerrm just took a different skip, so he's on an unknown floor right now as well.
Yep, his floor music changed. Each floor has its own music, so that's one way to tell. In fact, if you remember your musics from which floor you were on, if you skip onto a floor you've seen before, you'll be able to know.
Based on the difficulty of Neerrm's enemies, I would say he might be on floor 6 alongside Temple.
It's possible. Temple on floor 6 finds Dusty Dunes Desert, and now here's always the question, do you go up north to check out all those gifts, where there aren't any doors, but there's a lot of gifts, or do you just stick to the south and check doors quickly? Fight's given Neerrm some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, going north in the desert for those presents is definitely just up for debate. In my opinion, for whenever I do it, I always opt to... I'll go for those presents if I'm struggling to find items on, like, floor 8 or 9 and really desperately looking for pendants. Otherwise, I don't even bother. Too many enemies to deal with.
Picks up a rain pendant.
Something that looks nice initially, but then you realize it really only prevents or a little bit of freeze damage, and in this, it's really not that useful.
Not that many things freeze you.
So Neerrm took a couple deaths in that fight, powered through, gained a bunch of levels, so he's in the kind of the boat where he's just kind of looking for a full heal, trying to look for identifying information for where he might be, and that kind of stuff. Not looking for a quadruple Fabi fight, though.
Yeah, I have taken a look at the spoiler, so I can tell you that Neerrm is currently on floor 7.
Oh, nice. He does not know that, though. He just knows he's
Correct.
pretty far along.
And that's the maximum size skip. A skip from floor 2 can go anywhere from 2 to 5 floors away, so he got a maximum size skip. And the odds aren't the same. Getting a 3 floor is rarer than a 2 floor. A 4 floor is even rarer still, and a 5 floor skip is the rarest type of skip. So to get the 5 floor skip is not all that common.
Neerrm luckily getting that run off those Fobbies. Those Fobbies can be deceptive. Especially whenever you take a big skip like that, you're really looking to only take single enemy fights. As soon as you take a double enemy or a triple enemy fight, you're very often in for a rough time, regardless of what the enemy is.
Well, we've released the chicken, so it should be good now.
Neerrm did find a potential skip. He found the pencil in the monkey cave. No pencil eraser, though.
Right. It's always risky, though, to take skips when you haven't even established yourself on the floor that you're on. You know, he's certainly still in a lot of danger here on floor 7. Don't think he's found a phone, hasn't found a full heal, doesn't have, is very underleveled for the enemies in this area.
The butterfly is a nice little bonus. Should give him a little bit of comfort where he is. Just a few extra life ups makes a big difference right now. And he's opting to take this save right now.
Okay.
He hasn't found a full heal, but he knows he's pretty far along. I guess he's just banking on if he does die, he is on the pretty far along, and he'll just try and find a full heal.
Temple finds the full heal for floor 6.
Face. Sign.
The old sign face. We're slowly getting some defensive equipment on Neerrm's side. Still no offensive equipment. Strange green, but I'm sure he'll take it.
Temple did find a platinum band. It's not a huge find. It's just a nice little defense bonus, but it could prove valuable if you need to sell items to pick up some multi-bottle rockets or say super bombs or things like that. Any of those big defensive items that you'll be able to sell for a ton are pretty valuable.
Yeah. Legendary bat. There's some offense.
Especially since he's only got a few party members alive. Anything that will put out damage that doesn't require psychic points right now is a huge find.
Mm-hmm. And having it on someone other than Paula or Pooh, who have freeze, is even better still. The Rock needs the bathroom.
Always got to go over to see who it is. So yeah, both runners just kind of exploring their respective floors. Not really... I think both runners would really love to find some kind of sign of where they are. I know Temple would probably also like to find a hint man, especially considering how far he is and might be feeling a little under-equipped still because he doesn't know who these bosses are, especially on floor 6 and beyond. He could find some pretty tough bosses, so he'd probably like to find a save point and some kind of sign of what bosses he has to expect, because we still don't know who the bosses of 6, 7, 8, or I guess just 6, 7, and 8 are.
Yep, still a mystery. Neerrm did finally get an enemy by itself that he could take down that gave everyone about 4 levels, and he's found a phone that's at an inn. It's not a full heal, and it's an expensive inn, but...
Yeah, that one's like 400.
It's a decent base of operations.
Ooh, straight down net. The other big hub.
Well, here's some doors.
There are a few presents in Onet too, and that's sometimes what I like to do is just book it for one of the presents and use that as my starting point for exploring floors. Ooh, I like that loop from one side of Onet to the other.
It's a nice loop.
Temple on the left just found a large pizza. That'll be super nice for Gygas if he opts for that strategy.
Yeah, there's your large pizza strats.
The enemies are running from Temple here because he must have killed... I forget what those rats are from, which dungeon, but I guess he killed whatever boss is part of that dungeon and they're running from him.
Yeah, so that might end up being a difference.
Does Neerrm? Neerrm has fly honey?
He picked up fly honey.
Oh wow, I have never seen this skip taken before.
So, fun fact. This Belch, because I had a lot of problems with casual runners who would just find Belch and talk to him and get trapped in this fight because they hadn't found fly honey. So when you talk to Belch, if you don't have fly honey, it will ask you, "You don't have fly honey. Are you sure you want to talk to Belch?"
Nice. Yeah, because if you don't have the fly honey, there is no way to win. You're just gonna die.
Yeah, there's some hacky stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could, if you have flash, you could get lucky.
Like, yeah, flash or poison. But if you're a new enough runner or new enough to Earthbound that you're talking to Belch without fly honey, then you don't know about those either.
So Neerrm is taking another skip. He could be ahead or backwards. We're waiting to see maybe an enemy or some kind of presence to give him some sign. He found a mole playing rough, which certainly means he went backwards.
Yeah, definitely backwards. So we'll see if he keeps going on this floor to find a heal or some gifts, or if he decides that this is enough. He knows it's backwards.
And Temple fighting the floor 6 box, which is... Ooh, Guardian General.
And yeah, Neerrm checks the 1 box, and then he's going to go right back to what we know is floor 7.
Oh, interesting. He just paralyzed the guy and has decided to not burn any more psychic points, even though it wasn't doing much damage. Or I guess he was hoping for more than one damage from everybody. But unfortunately, that was going to take a little too long, so he's opted to throw out some more psychic abilities.
Yeah, that'd be a long one.
I do like the idea of paralyzing him to save some psychic points, though, but it was just the time lost for getting through that just probably wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah, both that guy and Clumsy Robot. Easy strategy for those guys.
I love the panicking on Neerrm's side, menuing just through all the options, trying to figure out what on earth to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have both runners on floor 7, taking very different paths to get there, but now we're on the same floor again.
Yep. We're both on floor 7, but we're in a little different situation. Temple's a little better equipped. He has a large pizza. That could make a difference when it comes down to the Gygas fight. Neerrm's going to try another skip here.
He's looking at those enemies and wondering if that's forward or backward with that UFO. Based on the UFO, it's probably backwards, because the only forward skip would be to floor 9. Unless that UFO
Yeah.
just was kind of on the border and wasn't sure which floor it was on. That's likely backwards. To probably floor
Temple
5, maybe.
Yep. Temple hit Hitman, so he knows what bosses are upcoming.
Oh, nice. What were they?
I will tell you as I look at my spoiler. The floor 7 boss is the Plague Rat of Doom, and the floor 8 boss is the Starman Deluxe.
Those are okay. Those are fairly friendly. There's no Carbon Dog, no Electrospectre, which can be kind of nasty sometimes.
Yeah, no Nessus Nightmare.
Neerrm has decided that skip is backwards, so he's back to 7. Temple's found the same Fly Honey skip. I don't know if he picked up the Fly Honey, but...
Unfortunate turn there. Of course, Temple knows he's on 7, and he knows the bosses aren't too bad. So he knows most skips are going to be backwards, so he might think even if he has the Fly Honey, which he does, he might think it's not worth it.
I did just notice that Temple has found a rabbit's foot somewhere along the way, which could be huge if you find some multi-bottle rockets.
Mm-hmm. Rabbit's foot right on Jeff, as we would expect.
So both runners exploring roughly the same side right now. I believe Neerrm is on the east side of Onet, and Temple is working through that same area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Neerrm has done a bunch more exploring, so even though they're in the same spot, Neerrm has more knowledge right now.
More knowledge, but less well-equipped, and with 2 characters dead, and I don't believe he knows anywhere on this floor to heal them. Yeah, Thomas is right. That's 3 seeds so far this tournament, and all 3 no dogs.
It's a shame, really.
Man, these unfortunate reds Neerrm keeps getting hit with.
Temple on the left has found another potential skip, waiting for that butterfly to go through.
Yeah, Neerrm was just in that room. That's King Banana and Hamburger.
Oh, and I believe someone found the backside of that King Banana person, so that's the King Banana side is definitely backwards.
East is the opposite of west. Franklin Badge in Saturn Valley. Temple picks it up. I don't believe Neerrm has been there yet. Or no, he has been there. Neerrm came out that door in Saturn
I believe
Valley.
yeah, the door that Temple just entered is the shortcut that Neerrm took to get here.
But I don't remember Neerrm going up and checking that gift box. Yeah, see, Onet has a lot of doors that aren't doors. It can be hard to know if you've not done a lot of seeds. It can be hard to know.
I still forget from time to time. There's like 1 or 2 in Onet that I always knock on. And, dang it, this isn't a door.
Mm-hmm. And this is where just the fact that Temple grinds so many seeds, that's not a confusion I expect to see him make, just because he does so many of these.
And that was a really quick decision making on Temple side. He went in to see that potential skip, but saw the enemies on the other side and didn't even bother. He immediately knew it was backwards. And here Temple is taking on... Yeah, Temple's taking on Belch, which is unfortunately a backward skip, right. But you might be excited about the prospect of Belch being a forward skip.
Sure, I mean, you're on 7.
You gotta go for it. Let's go ahead and switch over to Temple's audio.
Neerrm has found the full heal on floor 7, and it's Prince Pooh's throne room, which has a phone in it.
I love that throne room. It's got that the heal, the phone, the presence. I think it's one of the best hubs you can find to just kind of set your base camp.
Yep, picked up a powerful weapon for Jeff out of there, along with the super bomb.
So yeah, both runners are kind of struggling, looking for the way forward. Neither runner has found the way forward yet. I'm actually not sure which doors Neerrm has not explored yet. Or even if Onet is the way forward. For all we know, Onet is just a dead end.
It's entirely possible.
Oh, the temple is in the sewers right now, and I don't remember seeing Neerrm explore the sewers.
Yeah, a lot of big annoying rooms on this floor.
I love these stairs sound effects and all the different sound fonts. So good. Oh, I didn't realize Temple was on that backtracked floor. And until he finally realized that he went backwards, taking that fly honey skip. So now he's back in Onet alongside Neerrm. We're once again just exploring again together.
Oh, glove grinding on it. Temple finds the throne room.
The Moonbeam gun, another super bomb. I don't think any player has found an arms dealer. I guess the only arms dealer we could have found so far was in the desert on an early floor. But I don't remember if it had anything useful. So neither runner's really working with any kind of explosives of any type right now.
Neerrm finds the Hitman, so now he knows he's on floor 7, and there aren't very many difficult bosses up ahead. So his position's improved considerably in the last 5 minutes. He's found a full heal, he's got a phone, he knows where he is. He knows there's not too many difficult bosses ahead. Now, he just needs to find the way forward, same as Temple.
Looks like Neerrm got swimming through the water and forgot that that bottom door is a different entrance. Neerrm has unfortunately found the way back to floor 6 because he skipped a 7, so he is backtracked to the front of floor 7. So at least he knows which way is forward now.
Yep, that's something.
I'm pretty sure Neerrm has explored about 90% of this floor so far.
I think they're both backtracking or hitting rooms they've already hit at this point.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure where the way forward is because I feel like I've seen both of these runners go pretty much everywhere. You see, Temple kind of might be possibly getting a little confused. He entered the Starman base room and then turned around and exited. I'm not sure if that's because he's already explored that or if he's just decided it's too big of a room. I'm going to explore other doors first.
It's a long room that takes a long time to get through. Big ladders, there can be enemies. It's a long way to go for only one other door at the other end. But it is actually the correct way off of this floor.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Temple then.
Match can't bet and chicken. Oh, he threw away that chicken.
What a... Oh.
I heard that noise, Neerrm. You just threw away a chicken. Oh my goodness.
That's kind of like releasing it, right?
It's not at all. It's not even a little bit. There's nothing even remotely comparable to nicely setting a chicken on the ground and setting it free versus throwing it over your shoulder into a trash can. Can't believe it. Well, a match can't bat at least is a good thing out of that. But yes, the first runner who goes up north through that hole in Saturn Valley and takes the long... Yeah, I can't believe you would do something that nasty as well, Neerrm. I agree.
But that means because the Saturn Valley path, that northern cave entrance is the way forward, that means the entirety of Onet is a dead end.
From the way that Neerrm came into it, yes. The normal path does take you through Onet.
Oh, does it?
From the
Okay.
4-6 boss to get there. Yeah. But
Neerrm has found an arms dealer that has multi-bottle rockets. Neerrm does not have the rabbit's foot that Temple does, but the multi-bottle rockets will be a huge help for the floor 7 and floor 8 boss. Probably not so much armored pokey.
No, not without any speed enhancing items.
You might get lucky and get a couple to hit, but it's not going to be much.
Usually it's 0.
Does armored pokey have a chance to have his speed rolled downward or
Yes.
randomized down?
Yes, every boss has a chance for all of its stats, including speed, to go up or down. Although with bosses, there is a slight bias towards making them up instead of down.
Ooh, I did not know that. Is that true for all stats?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's not a strong bias. It's just something like there's a third a chance of them going down instead of a half for normal enemies.
Interesting. I did not know that.
It used to be a lot stronger. In the original version of Ancient Cave that Abyssinum made, they could only go up. I decided that was a little too mean.
Yeah, we're both just struggling through floor 7 still. I believe Neerrm is heading back. I believe this goes back into Saturn Valley. This path that he's taking right now.
No,
I'm all turned around. If they can get $7,500, Neerrm can go buy the house and take that as a potential skip.
Yeah, that's true.
I always forget about that when entering this hub, but if you find this hub later on in one of the later floors, it's very likely you have enough money to try it out.
Mm-hmm. That is a skip. So I don't think Neerrm has even poked his head into that North Saturn Valley room. In fact, because I believe he doesn't have the Franklin badge that's in the gift box right next to it.
Yeah, he hit that Saturn Valley room pretty early on. I believe that within the first room or two from taking that shortcut, he was in Saturn Valley, and he just got unlucky and chose the wrong path.
It's too big of a floor. He doesn't remember. You can see him doing a little frustration dance there. He doesn't remember.
I know that dance well. Little does he know that Temple is also doing the exact same thing right now, just confused, looking around this floor.
With Temple, I'm not 100% sure whether he's forgotten about it or whether he's remembering it, but just really doesn't want to do it because it's such a long room and exploring all of his other options first.
Neerrm has made his way back to Saturn Valley, and now he's going to find the Franklin badge and probably find the way forward right here. Franklin badge is a huge find. If you can find a Franklin badge and a C pendant or star pendant, it essentially makes your character immune for Phase 2 and Phase 3 of Gygus.
Alright, if he commits to this, he is going to take the lead.
Yeah, he has. It looks like he's committed, so Neerrm is going to be the first one to find this path out of floor 7. He's been on floor 7 for about 20 minutes now.
He's got to feel good that this is a room he hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, I think he's just, oh, this is somewhere I haven't gone. This has to be it. And he's right.
Unfortunately, this is a rough fight.
Yeah.
With the UFO, though, those usually have high speed. It is randomizer, so it might not, of course, but they usually have high speed. It's going to make running away hard. And some hard-hitting enemies alongside it.
Doing that same panicked menuing. I know that feeling well as everyone's HP is ticking down and you're like, do I try and run? Do I just power through this?
Yeah, this is absolutely a fight that could wipe him if it goes poorly.
He's on turn 3 or 4. He may have a decent chance to run if he decides to take that route at this point. Temple has that benefit, though, because he does have the Rabbit's Foot. That's going to increase his chance to run, starting on turn 1 by 40%. He does have some kind of pendant on Ness, which is mitigating the fire damage. I think it might just be a flame pendant. But, oh, he got through it with nobody dying.
Yep.
Temple is now taking the bottom path in Saturn Valley, so he's back in the right area to find the way forward. He does find an earth pendant on that bottom path, though, which is
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So if he decides now to take that upper path, could find ourselves in the same room again with both players.
Yep. Now, of course, doing the check is all these bats. Which one is really better than the other? Does anyone have any idea?
Yeah, it looks like Temple knows. I poked my head in this room and I didn't do it. This is the way forward. So we're in the exact same room together again. 36 minutes in, we're essentially tied.
Essentially tied. Again, Temple's still a little better equipped. He's got an earth pendant that Neerrm does not have. And he's got a large pizza that Neerrm does not have.
And Temple's gotten some really friendly spawns, so we're literally in the exact same spot right now.
Oh yeah, Temple just breezed through that room. It's causing so much trouble for Neerrm. Oof.
And Temple has found the boss room right there. He's going to go ahead and it looks like he's going to explore the right side just because he's pretty far along. Maybe find a phone or just one last present room or something before he advances.
Yeah, you don't want to redo that whole room.
And he got lucky. He did, in fact, find a phone. So he can set up a save and retry this boss until he gets through.
This boss was Plague Rat of Doom.
I don't know if Temple... So I remember Neerrm found the arms dealer that had multi-bottle rockets. I don't know if he bought any, but I don't believe Temple ever found that dealer. So Neerrm might be able to just fire a multi-bottle rocket at him, I believe, if he bought any.
Yep, he bought 2.
Okay, so he's got 1 for Plague Rat and 1 for Starman Deluxe. And he's gonna opt to fire it here, so we're still neck and neck right here, but Neerrm is gonna pull back ahead as this multi-bottle rocket is pretty much guaranteed gonna kill it. Ooh,
well.
Low damage roll.
Incorrect. Yeah.
I guess,
Still 1,000 damage.
I guess the rat rolled a little bit higher speed, because even without a rabbit's foot, you expect the multi-bottle rocket to average around 1,500 damage.
Right down for Neerrm. On to floor 8. Temple, a little bit slower. Everyone's out of psychic points. We're on to magnet strats.
He does have some good weapons, so he might just be able to auto-fight his way through the rest of this. I think it's
Yep,
just...
and
he's
that'll work.
okay. I wasn't really worried about him getting through, it was just whether or not some party members were gonna wipe.
So we're about 40 seconds apart right now as we enter floor 8. There won't be any skips from now on. Skips will only go backwards, so it's just through floor 8 and 9. Holy fry pan for Paula. There's a big nice bonus.
Neerrm decided to not take this fight with the question mark, and Temple just powered right into him, because Temple has got some pretty solid offensive items, so he can auto-fight pretty much any single enemy encounter right now, which Neerrm does not have the advantage of. Neerrm just walked past that. I don't know if Neerrm doesn't know that. Ooh, there was an enemy right on top of that present that he didn't see. Oh, the present was an enemy. Interesting.
Yeah, that's not a real present.
Oh, interesting. Neerm's person there to sell items was there, and Temple, that character was not there. What causes that character to be there?
I believe it's a flag that's set on a particular door, either into or out of Saturn Valley.
Interesting. I didn't realize that person could not be there.
I believe it's in fact the door south out of Saturn Valley. When you leave out that door, it removes that character. So since we remember that Temple went south out there and got that Earth Pendant, and Neerrm did not go out that door, well, there's your difference. Fun facts about Earthbound.
So both characters find a Night Pendant in this little area. It's one more nice find. So Temple's sitting on an Earth Pendant and a Night Pendant and a Franklin Badge. Neerrm has a Night Pendant and Franklin Badge. If Neerrm feels comfortable, he could go for Gygus with just a Knight and a Franklin Badge. Be a little iffy on that final character. You would still take that freeze damage. But otherwise, that would be a safe fight.
Yeah, it's certainly something has to think about. Of course, we're just now entering floor 8.
Yeah, floor 8 and 9 are where you start finding the Sea Pendant and the Star Pendants. I think they have a small chance to roll on 7.
Yes, well, the way the item randomization works, they have a small chance of rolling on floor 1. Let me know if you get that seed. You might as well go out and get a Powerball ticket at the same time. So it's not that they're restricted to a certain floor. It's just that the randomization math is in a bell-shaped curve, and it could go down further and further. Just the odds get less and less.
So Neerrm is in a really bad spot. He has 2 characters diamondized and no psyche points. And yeah, he's just...
Yeah, this... And is that Puke making this fight unrunnable?
I don't think... I don't know what fight
okay,
that...
It's not that Puke.
Okay, because I don't believe... I think it's just a slimy little pile.
Right.
has
And I
that
think
flag
that
on.
there's 2 or 3 different enemies that have that same sprite. That's that small puke sprite. I think there's 3 different enemies with that same sprite, and one of them makes the battle unable to be run from. And of course, with the names and palettes randomized, you can only tell based on how difficult they are or what other enemies they fight alongside.
Temple has found this department store. Fun fact: this is the this department store and the second department store. This is the fast. Actually, no, we're in the exact same spot again. Both people, both Neerrm and Temple are at the exact same spot. This is the fastest person to sell items to, least amount of dialogue. So if you do find it and you got a bunch of items to sell and you know you're going to do it eventually, you may as well do it here.
It's Happy Happy Village, which means it's time to check the free shop.
I believe that there will be free super bombs.
Oh, based on what?
I don't know.
All right.
Just a
Just
feeling.
it. Fair enough.
Neerrm didn't check it. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in just exploring room after room and you forget. I get in that habit. It looks like Neerrm just remembered that there's a free item shop back here. He just backtracked. I don't know why. Yeah, he's going for it too.
Fresh eggs. Save all the chickens you can.
The only thing that might be valuable there is the Coin of Slumbers. You could hoard a ton and sell, but at this point, it's probably not worth it. If you found it on floor 2 or floor 3 or something, it'd probably be worth it to stock up on a bunch and sell them for money.
Set the world record for chickens freed.
Neerrm's found a nice little hub. It's got 4 and 5 doors in it. Or sorry, no, I'm sorry, 6 doors and a bench, so which is a nice little spot to rest up and save.
Yep, no way to get his characters undiamondized, though, unfortunately.
He's got some pretty solid defense. He's only taking 16 and 40 damage from these enemies.
Temple's found the same room from the north side.
Ooh, and an arms dealer room.
Yep. Arms dealer at the back of the Scraba Inn has bottles of DX water.
Hey, that's actually pretty valuable. I mean, you're hoping for super bombs. I mean, at this point in the run, you're hoping for super bombs for some damage against Gygas. But DX waters are a nice find just to keep poo powered up.
Oh yeah, and he found Auto Starmaster, so his foo has Starstorm Alpha. So you can definitely use those DX waters.
Ooh, Neerrm, I don't think anyone has any Psyche points. Oh no, he did get Paula some Psyche points. I guess he stayed on the bench. I guess I didn't catch that. So I'll be able to get through this mole.
Yep, and Jeff has a real powerful weapon, so there's a C pendant.
Good choice on taking that fight.
So a C pendant and a Franklin badge.
And a Knight pendant.
Yep, we are Gygas doable.
Temple finds a secret herb. Looks like all those top ropes were pretty much useless. And if he goes down and takes that left door, he's going to find out that he just took a big loop. And he does find an earth pendant.
Another earth pendant. And a C pendant.
Ooh, this is just full of pendants. Temple's now sitting on 2 earth pendants, a knight, and a C.
There's another present up there, and he wants it.
and both players also have a Franklin badge, so, I mean, I think Temple, if he found Gygas right now, I think he would just go for it, considering he's got plenty of equipment. He may just be worried about his damage output a little bit, but otherwise he's ready for Gygas.
Speaking of pendants, Neerrm found the Earth Pendant shop. Didn't decide to buy any. Gaia Beam, Jeff's most powerful weapon. Make auto fighting through some fights a little easier. Well, we're just slugging away at floor 8. Looking for forward progress, picking up some good pendants along the way.
Yeah, this has essentially been a fairly identical run. Now Temple is in the same room that Neerrm is, once again, making opposite progress. Temple will be, if he decides to go for this, yeah, he's find yet another C pendant.
Yep. So yeah, this entire complex off of Dungeon Man is all a big loopy dead end, but it does have sea pendants in it.
So yeah, now Temple's got 2 sea pendants and 2 earth pendants. Neerrm now making his way to the top of this room, and he'll find out all those ropes to the top are also a dead end.
So if you were in these runners' place and you got through and found all this was a pointless dead end, but you got 2 sea pendants out of it, would be happy or sad?
I mean, I'd be okay. I mean, it's a big time sink to go through all these rooms, but finding 2 sea pendants, it's hard to beat that. And if you find 2 sea pendants here, it's very likely that there were none on floor 9. So you're probably happy that you found them here instead of having to look around forever on 9 for them.
Maybe you're thinking if your opponent skipped on to 9, he might be not finding any pendants.
Absolutely.
Of course, these two are just taking identical paths, so that's not the case here. But
Temple has found out that all these doors are a dead end. He's going to have to take that left door through the hospital to backtrack and hopefully find the way forward. It's pretty disappointing when you do find such a big hub. You find a room that has 6 doors branching off of it, and you're like, oh, this has to be the way forward, and it turns out to not be. It's always a little disappointing. Coming onto the ledge right into a fight, I like it.
So once again, we've got a floor with a lot of doors. Both our runners have looked at all these doors. They've been thrown around loops. They've been thrown around dead ends. Are they going to find the way forward? Well, Temple just did. And I guess he must not feel ready because he turned and went right back down.
Oh, did he find the shiny spot?
I believe that was the room that leads to what's the Vanilla Thunder and Storm shiny spot,
I guess
right?
he knew where the save point was, so he just wanted to go back and create that save for the fight.
I'm not sure now because he's not going the right way.
Oh, maybe he was thinking it was a different room or something?
He could think it's one of the other Rabbit's Cave rooms. That's not what that dungeon is called, but I forget its name.
Which door led into that area?
It's the north door in Happy Happy Village, the one right above the main house.
Okay, that cave.
Not the cave, the house at the gate.
Oh, okay. A little tiny shack.
So that leads to a hotel, and that's right at the hotel room and up the stairs.
Interesting. So,
and yeah,
did Temple just
right
think that maybe that was the dead end room or something?
He must have, because I can't think of any other explanation for his activities right now. Is he just popped in, thought it was the dead end room, and turned right back around?
Because there is a dead end room, but it starts you at the top of a rope.
Yeah.
And that's the dead end room. Sometimes
different.
It looks similar to some other rooms, but anyone you enter and coming in through the hole, there's no chance of that being a dead end.
Yeah, there's a dead end room with a hole that you enter on the left side.
I love Temple equipping that sea pendant. There was like 7 other pendants on that character to choose from.
What will I wear today?
So yeah, both Neerrm and Temple just swimming in pendants and defensive gear. Temple is going back to where he was, so I guess he knew what it was. I'm not sure what he was doing. Maybe he knew.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but he's ready for the fight now.
I don't doubt that Temple knew what he was doing, but I don't know what he was doing.
Right, same. Only a big bottle rocket for Temple.
So Neerrm does have a multi-bottle rocket for Starman Deluxe when he finds them. Temple's got plenty of damage to put out though, so taking a Starstorm though is no bueno.
Now when will Neerrm go through the right door? If he gets there now, he won't be too far behind.
Yeah, because it looks like Temple's not getting through this.
Well?
Oh, did he? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Wow.
Put out just enough damage.
Neerrm just walks right by the door. That's the way forward. Maybe he thinks he already went through there? Or maybe he's just checking the cave first. Please go through the... Neerrm, do it. Neerrm, go through the door.
I believe he's been in there and he's seen the hotel, but I don't think he...
Oh, no, Neerrm, go backwards! So Temple gets through the Starman Deluxe fight. I think he's going to go back and save. Or there's a full heal that he's thinking of. A hotel.
Here we go. Alright, Neerrm.
Neerrm, go. Now go up. There we go. Okay, Neerm's likely gonna find the way forward now.
It's not up. It's right in that hotel room. It's not up.
Oh.
So, and that leads into another 3-door room. So you might.
Yeah, he'll backtrack and check the door on the right. He'll get there. He's found the right initial path forward. He'll get there now. Unless this loops.
Might be part of, yeah, this is part of the loop that leads to Dungeon Man. So there's still one door.
I like the back and forth through the musics as he tries to despawn this enemy. Or maybe he's just getting a better spawn for that Sentry Robot so he could try and skip it.
Yeah, that's not a despawnable, but it's not going to let him skip it either. But it doesn't take too long. Alright.
Now Neerrm has found Starman Deluxe. He's got the multi-bottle rocket, so he should power through this boss pretty quickly.
Hopefully. As always, it may have get some randomized extremely high speed. We won't know until we find out.
I would like to know earlier.
You'd like to know earlier than you find out?
Exactly.
That'd be a good trick.
So we could find another hub on Temple side. He finds 4 side and opts to, you know what, I'm going to check these other doors first.
Sure. I mean, it's probably 4 side, just based on how hubs work.
Finds King Banana Man. Oh no, this is Fresh Egg Man.
That's Fresh Egg Man. Another opportunity to save some chickens.
I don't think anyone has freed a chicken yet. Or maybe Temple did earlier? I forget.
I believe they've each freed one.
Well,
but
just
Neerrm's also
thrown one away, so back to 0, essentially.
It should make it do that.
Did Neerrm already fire the multi-bottle rocket?
He did. I heard it go off. I did not see how much it hit.
So I guess he's just trying to power through the shield until it disappears, throwing out freeze alphas and the weaker version until it disappears, and then he can start going all out.
Arms Dealer in 4 side has nothing relevant for Temple.
So yeah, Starman Deluxe no longer has a shield, so he can throw out freeze betas and everything again out on it. And I think he's just trying to beat the HP meters. I guess everyone's ticking up right now. Jeff's got some crazy defense because the beam that hit Jeff from one of the Starmen only did 4 damage.
Yeah, it's not bad. And Neerrm is through the floor 8 boss and will be on to floor 9.
Excuse the window sound, that wasn't you, that was me.
Just a few steps behind Temple. Routing on floor 9 could make all the difference.
Aw, the chirping with the music is so nice. Just makes you feel even more at home.
It's nice, peaceful music for a nice, peaceful floor 9.
Temple finds another star pendant. Now he's sitting on 2 sea pendants, 2 earth pendants, a star pendant. I don't think he wants any more pendants. He just wants some multi-bottle or some super bombs or something. That's about the only thing he would like to find right now. Anything else is meh.
No, he'd probably rather see fewer pendants because seeing these pendants along the normal path means that Neerrm's probably going to get them all as well.
Yeah.
So there's less of a chance that he has an advantage in pendants.
Ooh, Temple has found the right side of the show. This is a dead end right here, we get to watch a show. Oh, it's the Gygus room, so he is going to have to turn around to watch the show. I love it. You got to go through the theater to get to Gygus.
I mean, unless he just goes for Gygas right now.
Aw, hi chat.
Hi, Temple. How are you? I mean, this is some motivation to just go for Gygas right now, to not have to watch the show, but...
Seriously. He did just save right before fighting Starman Deluxe. And he got through this pretty quickly, so he would be able to backtrack here again. So is it worth watching the 2-minute show to find another save point or something? I don't know. To better gear up. I'm not sure what his status of all of his characters is.
This is a pretty big chance to catch up for Neerrm if he doesn't have to do the same thing when he finds Gygas.
Neerrm did find a bazooka. Nice little steady output of damage from Jeff, although Jeff has a better weapon, so his weapon might just be better.
Jeff with Gaia Beam is probably going to be better than bazooka.
So Neerrm just exploring through Foreside. That is the way forward, so I forget which door in Foreside was the actual way forward.
The way you want to go in Foreside is through the museum.
Okay, so he's checking the north side, and hopefully the museum isn't the last door as he circles around. But this is still a very tight race. Both characters on floor 9. Temple now knows where Gygas is. Neerrm is about 3 or 4 doors away from Gygas if he knew where to go. But now Neerrm is going to have to find a way to get rid of that Diamond Eyes as well before he takes on Gygas.
Right. So if he does run into Gygas, he won't be able to avoid the show, really. Unless he resets.
Temple did not set the exit mouse there. I don't know if he does have an exit mouse or not. But if you do find... Oh, he did just mark it. Okay.
Yep, not too far away.
He heard me.
So I don't think either player has found the floor 9 full heal yet. Which Temple doesn't need. He really... I don't know what he needs. I guess an N is probably what he's looking for.
I bet he just wants to save, is my guess.
Yeah, a save and an N.
And as soon as he finds that, he can just exit mouse straight to Gygas. So he feels pretty comfortable. He's like, oh my gosh, another star pendant.
Another star pendant, good. Well, here's a save. And there's the HPPP recovery fountain right next to it.
Yeah, this won't revive or cure status ailments, but it's essentially a hotel.
Yeah, if he wants to use it.
I mean, he probably will, considering it's debatable whether he needs it or not. His psychic points are pretty high. I mean, he's going to be relying on his psychic points to deal damage because he doesn't have any explosives. But he does have...
Freed another chicken.
He does have 2 star pendants and 2 sea pendants and 2 earth pendants and a night pendant, so...
So all 7 kids are going for Gygas.
They're skirting around these corners, dodging these enemies. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can tell Temple is just doing his final inventory management, and then he's going to save and then go start the Gygas fight. Neerrm is just taking the museum. That is the path to Gygas.
Yep.
He does not have a... his party is not ready for Gygas, so unfortunately, if he did not take that Diamond Eyes, he might be ready to take on Gygas if he found him.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. And I don't know that we've seen anywhere on floor 9 to get that Diamond Eyes healed yet. We know there has to be somewhere. But I don't think we've seen it.
Does the other type of geyser on this floor heal status ailments?
Yes, you could do that. You could go all the way north to the North Geyser slowly. That would do it. That's not what you want to be doing in a race.
But I mean, if it's between a sure thing and looking around for something that might not be faster, I'd probably always go for the sure thing. So we're starting the Gygas fight on Temple side. The only thing that he has to worry about really is, as long as he has that Franklin badge on the person who has prayer. I'm not sure who it is actually. And he gets through phase 1 without that person really dying from the physical damage from Armored Pokey. He should be fine.
So just fun fact, there was another star pendant in the Lost Underworld.
Oh my gosh. So there was 3 star pendants and 2 sea pendants on this seed.
Uh-huh.
Just a rockin' alpha. That's a nice thing to see. Did he do pizza strats? I'm not sure. Neerrm is gonna run into Gygas right now. Ooh. Right after he takes this fight.
Large pizza strats. Ah, this is unfortunate for Neerrm.
Oh, he's 1 room away, and he's gonna... He might wipe here.
There we go. At least he'll know. He's not ready for the fight, but at least he'll know.
He's gonna have to turn around. I don't remember the last time he saved, so he's gonna have to turn around and watch the show, though.
Yeah, he's gonna have to take the show. Meanwhile, getting the numb off was successful. The large pizza strats kept everyone well alive.
Paula is running a little low on psyche points, so if he doesn't manage to put out enough damage with Pooh alone, I mean, the fight's gonna drag on a little bit. He's gonna get through, but Paula he really needs to conserve Paula's psyche points now for another shield if it goes that long.
Oh, surely you're not thinking about this, Neerrm. You don't want to mark the exit mouse in here.
Do it.
You don't want to mark the exit mouse in here. If you exit mouse into the
Oh yeah, you have to watch the show again.
Yeah, because Gygas doesn't work if you exit mouse directly into his room. You have to leave the room and come back, and the show's right on the other side of the door. Hopefully, after he watches the show, he marks the exit mouse again.
What a tease. He's organizing his inventory to see, or looking through his inventory to see if he could do it without Pooh right here.
That would be rough. Oh, we're trying. All right, I like it.
Oh my gosh. Neerrm's a braver man than I am. I don't know if I would do this. But I like it.
It turns off brain shock strats for the entire run.
He did have a magic truffle to restore Paula's psyche points. So, I mean, why not? I don't know if he can catch up to Temple at this point, because Temple has got this pretty sewn up. But
right.
I still like it.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, he's at 105. He knows he's up against Temple. He knows he probably doesn't have a lot of time. As he turns out, he has even less time than he thinks. But I love this play, whether it works or not. Yeah, Temple's just trying. He knows that his prayer character is in no danger of dying. He's just trying to get through this as quickly as possible.
I honestly still don't know who has prey.
It's Jeff.
Okay. I always forget to find out who has prey until I'm at Gygas.
That's the wrong time.
Every single time. It's like somewhere on floor 9. I remember in my race, you guys were wondering, like, why is he taking this fight? Is he looking for more experience? Nope, it was because I still didn't know who had prey and I had to do one more fight to find out.
I love it. Alright, well, we're still alive in phase 1. Does he need to let Jeff tick up? Does he not have a shield up?
Maybe Pokey's not paralyzed. Is he already on turn 3 or 2 right now?
Oh, is Pokey not paralyzed? That's what it was. Okay, that makes more sense. I didn't realize that Pokey wasn't paralyzed yet. Alright, so we'll get off this life up.
As soon as Paula gets healed, he's safe until Paula runs out of psyche points. I don't know if he has another way to restore Paula's psyche points.
Right, she's going to have to start magneting now. He's going to have to get some good magnets because he's not putting out a ton of damage on.
And he does realize that he's not going to be able to throw out some damage until he gets more psyche points to be able to reliably cast shield every time. So he's already aware of that.
Yep. Yeah, he's playing this all right.
Yeah, and you got a magnet now because phase 2 and phase 3 Gygas does not have any psyche points. How much damage is Jeff putting out with the attacks?
147, I think, was that last
Nice.
one?
That's not bad.
Yeah, he'll get through it. Yeah, we're through phase 1.
Temple is powering his way through phase 3. He does that. He's at 450, so he's got. I haven't been counting the prayers. Oh, he accidentally ran instead of pray right there, giving Neerrm an opening to catch up.
If he does that 18 more times.
But yeah, Neerrm is gonna make this through. I think he has the Franklin badge and a pendant on Jeff, so he could just essentially auto fight this turn or this phase and get through it.
Yeah, even if he just gets down to Jeff, you know, he can just do prey strats or whatever.
So this is, I bet this is only gonna end a matter of like, I don't know if Neerrm will power through and finish what Temple does, but this is only gonna finish a few minutes apart.
Yep. He went into this Gygas fight with Boo paralyzed, and it looks like he's going to succeed at it. But our winner for the seed, and one more prayer will be determined. Yeah, just auto-fighting Gygas phase 2. That's fun when you can do that. But 109.05 for Temple makes him the winner of this quarterfinal. Congratulations, Temple.
And that's surprisingly close. Neerrm is on phase 3, and phase 3 goes super fast with this fast text and the no cutscenes on the prayers. It's a couple minutes at most. So this was a very tight race. I applaud Neerrm for powering through and taking on that fight with the Diamond Eyes Poo. Now watching the fight after he finished, I realized that was the right decision. And me looking at it, knowing me, I probably would have turned around and tried to get Poo revived. And
yeah, and that would have...
I will solidly say Neerrm made the correct decision on just going through with that fight because he was way prepared for it.
Yeah, he would have had to take the show, then find a heal. That would have been, you know, at least 5 minutes that he cut out. Possibly 10. So, excellent decision. Excellent fight on Gygas fight, just not quite enough to catch up to Temple, who took the lead on floor 9. What was the difference that got him ahead on floor 9?
I think it was just pathing. Neerrm decided to start heading or checking the north. Neerrm immediately went north and checked like the hospital and the cafe and those kind of things before he came back to the museum. And Temple, I think, went around to the bakery and then came up to the museum.
Right. They both had opportunities on it was floor 7 where they both got a little bit lost.
Yeah, that floor 7 dragged on. That was about 25-30 minutes for both people.
Right, and it was so many doors, so it's completely understandable that you would get lost. I was having a hard time keeping up, and I had the spoiler. But you know that could have been the difference there as well. You know, especially how close this is going to end up being. But yeah, an excellent fight. Of course, Neerrm is not out. This is a double elimination tournament. So Neerrm will be on into the losers bracket, and it looks like he will be up against Daniel in the losers bracket. Meanwhile, Neerrm is moving on to fight this guy named Andy Perfect in the quarterfinals.
Oh, I'm playing Temple?
You are.
Ooh. Can I pass on that one?
I mean, you can. You're right to the losers bracket.
Let's see what Temple's official chicken freed and no problem here count was.
1 chicken.
1 and 1. Nice.
1 and L button, no problem here. And one more prayer should wind things up.
Oh, the solidify.
Oh, Gygas, you gotta do that to us. And there it is. clock stopped running a little late, but it was about a 1:12:30.
Yeah, considering these players took a pretty once both players hit floor 7, neither player took a shortcut, so they had to do 7, 8, and 9 normally. But
Right.
the fact that they took a different path to get to floor 7, though, this was a surprisingly close race.
Right. Initially, let's see. Temple skipped on to 6, but Neerrm skipped on to 7. But 7 was a really complex floor, and Neerrm just kind of got dumped in the middle of it. And it took him longer to find his way. Meanwhile, Temple fought through 6 onto 7, was a little better prepared, and then was right at the start of 7, so he could work his way forward, and he actually found his way out of 7 a little bit before Neerrm did, despite Neerm's head start. And really, it was probably about that couple minutes that made the difference. Temple got a little bit further ahead, and Neerrm caught up some of that time with his ballsy Gygas play that paid off, but just not quite enough. An excellent fight. Definitely looking forward to seeing both of these runners in their next rounds.
Yeah, that was an absolute blast to watch. So congratulations to Temple on that win. Another a solid run from Neerrm. Only 3 minutes behind. Anything in the 110 to 120 range, sub 115 is going to be a really solid time on any seed. So both these players had really top tier times with this one.
Yep, it's a time that would have won against a lot of people a lot of days, but not Temple today. Meanwhile, what's coming up next in the tournament? Our final quarterfinal is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's Aurelix versus Leslie Pro. Neerrm and Ryko Ryder bringing you that stream tomorrow night at 8. Looking forward to that one. Of course, Aurelix, our number 1 seed, our winner of the tournament last year. Everyone's excited to see how he will do. Leslie, new player. I don't believe he was in the tournament last year.
No, this is his first year. I believe Ryko and Leslie are the newcomers this year.
Yep, putting up some good times. But he's got a tough challenge in the first round, going up against the range.
I'm glad I don't have to face Aurelix until at the very earliest, like round 3.
Although I will say, this year is a little different from last year. Last year, I believe Aurelix, in addition to winning the tournament, also won every single weekly seed. That was not the case this year. So...
Yeah, I think Ari was averaging probably like second-ish place on every seed. I mean, he had some first place finishes, but averaging a little further behind. Everyone else is kind of caught up to where he was last year. And I would still say with him being the 1 seed, he's probably the favorite to win this tournament, but it's not nearly at the margins that it was last year.
Yep. Okay. All right. Only 5 of the 6. So yeah, looking forward to that tomorrow night at 8, and then our quarterfinals and our first rounds of the brackets will be scheduled, and we are marching on towards the exciting conclusion of this tournament. I'm looking forward to it. So that's all that I had. Andy, if you want to wrap us up.
Yeah, I think that's it for us, for me too. Thanks for helping out with this one tonight, Chaz. And
yep, always glad to do it.
Chat, you all have an absolutely wonderful evening. And we'll see you tomorrow with the race between Leslie and Aurelix.
All right, good night.